25 very famous people you think of as old and probably have never seen pictures of when they were young. One, here's a classic photo of Lucille Ball in 1955 when she was starring on I Love Lucy. And here's Lucille at 23 years old, around 1934, when she first arrived in Hollywood and was a platinum blonde starlet. Two, here's John F. Kennedy in 1961 during his first year in office. And here's JFK in 1938 at 20 years old, when his father was appointed United States ambassador to the United Kingdom. Click T. 3. Here's Che Guevara in 1965 when he was industry minister to Cuba. And here's a photo of Che around 15 years earlier, circa 1950, when he was a 22-year-old medical student. 4. Here's a picture of acclaimed American author Ernest Hemingway in 1944. And here's a 19-year-old Hemingway when he was an ambulance driver with the American Red Cross Motor Corps in Italy during World War I. 5. Here's a photo of President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1935. And here's FDR at age 21 in 1903. 6. Here's Oprah at the Color Purple premiere in December 2023. And here's Oprah when she became co-anchor of Eyewitness News on WJZ at age 24 in 1978. 7. Here's Steve Jobs announcing the iPad at an Apple event in January 2010. And here's a 22-year-old Jobs debuting the Apple II computer at the first West Coast Computer Fair in 1977. 8. Here's legendary actor James Earl Jones attending the 70th Annual Tony in June 2016. And here's James starring in a TV production for CBS at age 31 in 1962. 9. Here's a photo of Charlie Chaplin from around 1925 when he was 36 years old. And here's Chaplin circa 1910 when he was 21 years old. 10. Here's Elvis Presley in 1962 at age 27. And here's Elvis as a kid in the early 1940s. You can also see his natural blonde hair in the photo. He famously dyed it jet black throughout his career. 11. Here's Dr. Maya Angelou speaking to a sold-out audience in April 2009. And here's a 26-year-old Dr. Angelou during a performance of Porgy and Bess in Europe in 1954. 12. Here's Pablo Picasso at age 84 in 1966. And here's a photo of Picasso when he first moved to Paris at 23 years old in 1904. 13. Here's Anthony Hopkins at the 94th Annual Academy Awards in March 2022. And here's Hopkins at age 31 in a publicity photo for his 1969 film, The Looking Glass War. 14. Here's a photo of the great American writer Mark Twain, in which he looks exactly how we would picture him in our heads. And here's a photo of Twain in 1860 at 24 years old when he went by Samuel Clemens. Mark Twain is a pen name, and he piloted a riverboat. 15. Here's Maggie Smith arriving at the premiere of her film, The Lady in the Van, in October 2015. And here's a 22-year-old Dame Smith backstage in her dressing room after appearing in a performance of the musical Share My Lettuce. 16. Here's Dr. Jane Goodall attending the LA premiere of her Apple TV Plus series, Jane, in April 2023. And here's a 31-year-old Dr. Goodall in a promotional photo for her 1965 CBS special, Miss Goodall and the World of Chimpanzees. 17. Here's an iconic photo of Albert Einstein sticking out his tongue to photographers on his 72nd birthday on March 14, 1951. Here's Einstein circa 1905 at age 26 when he wrote his Annus Mirabilis papers. 18. Here's the iconic artist Frida Kahlo at around age 37 in 1944. And here's Frida as a student at 19 years old. 19. Here's Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, at 20 years in May 1962. And here's a 12-year-old Ali in 1954. 20. Here's Jane Fonda at the 77th Annual Cannes Film Festival in 2024. And here's a photo of a 21-year-old Jane modeling for Vogue in 1959. 21. Here's Patrick Stewart in June 2023. And here's Patrick at age 30. Starring as Launce in the Royal Shakespeare Company's production of The Two Gentlemen of Verona in 1970. 22. Here's a photo of Walt Disney at age 59, taken circa 1960. And here's a 30-year-old Walt vacationing at the Hotel National in Havana, Cuba, in October 1931. 23. Here's Dolly Parton at the release party for her album, Rockstar, in November 2023. And here's Dolly at age 19 in 1965. 24. Here's a photo of Anna Wintour on the red carpet of the 2024 Met Gala. And here's a photo of a 23-year-old Anna at a fashion show in 1973, when she was an editorial assistant at Harper's Bazaar. 25. Lastly, here is Willie Nelson performing during the Farm Aid Music Festival in 2023. And here's Willie at age 32 in 1965.